It has been so long since I've done a check-in, a homeschool check-in here on my channel. It is way past overdue. So today's video, I'm just sharing an end of year homeschool check-in, homeschool curriculum, homeschool resources, things we've brought in and loved, things that we are letting go of. An end of year homeschool check-in. I probably chose the wrong day to do this. Today was not a very good day. Something was just off from the very early morning, and some days are just like that. I'm not going to let today distract me from all of the amazing things that we have accomplished this homeschool year. I'm so grateful that one day does not determine the whole course of our homeschool year, right? Like, can anybody feel me on that? Can anybody hear me on that? Like, it's the big picture. It's not one day. We're gonna look at the homeschool year as a whole. Our year has gone great. There have been a lot of things that I have relaxed in, a lot of things that I have changed and not even cared about in the middle of the homeschool year. So let's talk about it. We are not done with school yet. We're working through a few different subjects. Once those are completed, we will be finishing our homeschool year and taking a little bit of break. I will have a video coming in the very near future sharing all of, actually a whole week worth of curriculum for the next school year. That will be coming in a few weeks for you, as well as our summer homeschool plans. The first thing I want to talk about is homeschool curriculum that we have changed, things that we have dropped. For instance, my oldest, if you've been around here for a little while, you will know that we have used teaching textbooks for a very, very long time. We are still using teaching textbooks in our homeschool. My oldest decided that he wanted to do some math out of a workbook also. And so we decided, through the help of some other amazing homeschool moms on here, to try pairing Saxon math and teaching textbooks. Now, before you have a heart attack, this is, yes, it is a crazy thing to do, to pair both of them, right? It's crazy, but I am the queen of crazy, so I'm going to embrace it. We are doing Saxon math with teaching textbooks for my oldest, who is a 7th grader, and it is going great so far. No, it is not necessary to do both, but because it is something he requested, I'm going to allow it. So that is one thing that's a little bit different in our homeschool, and I just wanted to update you all on how that is going. Another thing that's changed in our homeschool, we started this homeschool year strong with master books. We have not touched anything from master books for the last 4 months. Like, nothing. None of the language lessons for a living education, we haven't touched any of them with any of my boys. We just kind of stopped. What have we gone to? The Good and the Beautiful. That was something that was a very first purchase for us this last homeschool year. We switched to the Good and the Beautiful with the idea in mind that I was going to do the Good and the Beautiful and both master books. Yeah, that wasn't working for me. I had to let that go. I had to simplify. Like, I had to simplify my homeschool and what I was doing, not only for myself, but for my kids, because some things were just getting crazy. I didn't want to let them go. I've done some just reflecting and really, truly focusing in on what I want for our homeschool. And through that has come what is going to be beautiful for this next homeschool year. So there's a lot of things that are just kind of shifting and taking place, and areas that I've relaxed and let things go that normally I couldn't or wouldn't. And they may not make sense to anybody, but they do to me. And that is the beauty in homeschooling our babies. So we've let go of master books. I still have some of their language lessons for living education books. We might use some of that through the summer. I don't know. I don't have all of my plans straightened out. That's why this is legit just a homeschool chit chat. Like, we're just going to talk about it. I hope that some of you can feel me on this, because I don't have a set routine, a set schedule for our homeschool, even for our school year. I know I want to take a break. That is something we're going to do, but I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what that's going to entail, but some of those master books resources might come in handy for summer school, essentially, in our homeschool. So the next thing I want to touch on is this right here, which is Not Grass History. This is our Star Spangled Story. This is book 2. We already went through book 1 and we have finished up book 2. Not Grass History is something that I loved. I loved this traditional textbook approach, if you will, to history. I love the stories. They were very short, very informative. It was absolutely perfect for what my family needed this past homeschool year. But now that I'm moving into 8th grade, okay, my oldest is going to be 8th grader, my youngest is a 3rd grader. Not Grass History is one thing that we will not be continuing with this next homeschool year. It has nothing to do with the curriculum in itself. I personally just want to take things a little different direction for this upcoming homeschool year. Things are going to look a little bit different for us because I will have an 8th grader. I will be homeschooling an 8th grader a 6th grader and a 3rd grader. And so for me, some of the things that we have been doing together as family subjects, it's gonna look a little bit different in our home. And so that is one reason why we are saying goodbye to Knotgrass for now, for this season. I loved it. We are going to send this to a family that can use it and see how things go with what we have planned for the upcoming homeschool year. All of the information will be coming in a homeschool curriculum week that I will be doing here on my channel. We'll be breaking down family subjects, subjects per grade level, all the things. So stay tuned for that if that's something that you were interested in. Everything for my 7th grader, we did some shifting around. My 2nd grader, we did some shifting, but my 5th grader has been like the same all the way through. Nothing has changed for him. For my 2nd grader, this homeschool year, we were using The Good and the Beautiful for math, and we were also using The Good and the Beautiful language arts and handwriting. Well, he finished all those resources before his brothers. And so I decided, why wait until the next official homeschool year to get him started? Why don't we just start now? So in the meantime, my 2nd grader is doing teaching textbooks level 3 for math because I want him to be doing something. Like, we're not officially done with our homeschool year yet, and so I want him to just kind of have something to do, and honestly, he enjoys it, so why not? So he is doing teaching textbooks, math, level 3, also doing language, the next level from The Good and the Beautiful, as well as handwriting. So that is what he is doing right now. And if you ask yourself, why am I doing this at the end of the homeschool year? It's simply because my older boys haven't finished the subjects that I want them to. And so I'm just gonna keep my 3rd grader busy. Like, why not just keep him moving through? That's what we're gonna do. It works for us. I'm gonna keep everybody moving and everybody in sync until we finish, and then we'll have a big official end of year celebration and all the things. But for now, just keeping everybody in sync, everybody moving. We have some Explode the Code that we're putting in every now and then for him. We love Explode the Code. We've been using it for years and years and years in our homeschool. And so that is nothing new either. Okay, now let's talk about some things that we added and things that we've been loving in our homeschool currently. Around homeschool is another thing that we use in our homeschool. It is something we love. It is something we will continue to use here in our homeschool. We are currently, just as a check-in, on level or on lesson, let's see here, lesson 10 in earth science. We have been moving much slower through Gather Round this year than we did last year, but you know what? I'm totally okay with it. I feel like it's something that I kind of need in this season right now. I feel like my boys are needing it also because we are kind of just doing life. Like, I want to make sure that we are allowing time for play, that we are allowing time for friendship, that we are allowing time for family, for exploring, for adventuring, for living life. And I feel like sometimes I can get stuck. I'm guilty of getting stuck in the books and forget to get out. So we are taking it much slower through earth science. Again, lesson 10 is the one that we are on. And this will most likely be what we finish out our homeschool year with. I don't know if we're gonna cruise into botany like I had originally planned. I don't know if that's something we'll save for summer school. I have no idea, guys. I don't know. But that's where we're at right now. Like, this is right now, okay? Next thing, when we talk about master books, I'm trying to get all this for you guys because I have so much I want to talk about, but when we talk about master books, okay, you all know I used and loved master books. I loved master books for the solid biblical foundation that was interwoven into every single lesson. It was beautiful. I love the idea and the concept of everything master books. But when it came to language lessons for a living education, we just weren't using it. Like, it just wasn't sticking with my boys. I needed something a little more, and that was just, that's me. That's nothing negative. That's my boys and their learning style, right? That's not the curriculum. This is not bashing anything. But what I hated to see go with master books was Bible. So what did I do? I brought it to YouTube, asked you all for help and some resources, and what I ended up going with was Not Consumed Ministries. This right here is a Bible study that we have been working on as a family. This is a content heart. Finding godly contentment in a me-first world. If you guys want to see more about this, I will leave everything linked down below. I do have an affiliate link down there if you're interested in making any purchases through Not Consumed Ministries. We are currently on day 5. That is what we are working through. I try to do this 2 times a week with my boys. I would love to do it every day, but just keeping things realistic, it doesn't always work that way. This is something that is beautiful. This is something I have needed. Something my boys have needed as well. Like, this is perfect timing for us. These Bible studies are something that I want to continue using in our homeschool. This is going to take the place of what I was loving from Bible and master books. So yes, we get out our Bible in the morning. We have different resources that we use. Again, that'll be coming in future videos where I will share all of that with you. But in addition to our Bible, this is something that I've loved doing with my boys. Again, we're only on day 5 and I'm loving it. That is what we've kind of done for Bible in this season of our homeschool, which has been awesome. I have loved it so much. My boys have loved it so much. It's sparked such great conversation all the way around. Amazing conversations with my boys. I think that about covers everything that I wanted to chat about for today's homeschool end of year check-in. I know there are some of you who have asked me questions about specific things, and I hope today's video was helpful in just kind of summarizing where we are at in our homeschool right now. That is the goal and the intention behind today's video. I definitely need to finish planning for the upcoming homeschool year. You guys, I'm feeling like stuck between a rock and a hard place, and these could not be more polar opposites. I'm feeling like I want to go like Charlotte Mason living books mixed with like what we are already doing. What in the world? I love anything and I love everything. And that right there is where this content study has come in. Like being content right now with what we have, where we are at, and just sitting and resting in that, because that is what I have for you for today's video. Thank you for being here with me. I just want you to know if you've had a hard day today, you are not alone. You're most definitely not alone. I come to you sharing all the things and my heart and my passion and all things for homeschooling. Also, just to remind you that no matter how long you've been homeschooling, there are hard days. There are. Some days are just plain hard. Doesn't mean we've had a bad year. Doesn't mean it's been a bad year. It doesn't mean I'm giving up. It doesn't mean any of the things. It just means sometimes life is hard. We're gonna rally through it, and we're gonna rally through it together, because I am not alone and you are not alone. Thank you for joining me for a little chit chat today. Let me know how things are going in your homeschool down below. New here, say hello. I love to meet all of you new homeschool mamas, and I love to hear your stories. So feel free to share anything with me in the comment section down below, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.